Uh, we're live. All right. Let me get everything opened up here tonight. We got a crowd in here. Maybe not. I don't know.
Hopefully. I shared it out to everybody.
Get people in here. People usually filter in.
Let's see.
All right. Let me get everything turned on, turned off. People get in here soon, though. But when they're coming in here, I'll go ahead and tell you that. Yeah, we were talking about it off air before we went live there. I actually have a video that's ranked #1 in the algorithm now. It's my first time ever being at the top of the homepage. It's my first time ever being on the homepage, actually. And it's funny because the video and the rankings.
Hey, Real Appalachian.
Hey, good to see you. Come on in. Stay for a while. We're going to play some Cash or Trash tonight. If you're new here, Cash or Trash is the game we play. It's sort of like, you ever seen Alex Rudd's channel before he stopped doing the lives on YouTube? He used to play this game called Overrated, Underrated. Cash or Trash is my version of it. We'll go through some new things, some things that showed up at ICAST this year in 2022, and we'll rate them. Just our opinions to us if they're cash or if they're trash. Feel free to play along in the comment section. Might even have a giveaway because I have an unclaimed Munster Bass box that the last guy last week hasn't claimed yet. So, I mean, tonight was the end of his ability to claim. So, might have a giveaway later on in the evening. But as I was telling Jeff here, yeah, I landed at the top of search results about, I think it was 2 years ago. 2.5 years ago now. For Father's Day, I was going to go fishing with my kids. My kids couldn't get up, right? So I went fishing by myself. And when I was out there, a couple, I guess, didn't expect anybody else to be out there that early in the morning on like a holiday weekend.
Yeah.
I guess they were just spicing things up. So I ran into them when I was out there, and I didn't have anything else. Like, you know, the bite was real tough that day or whatever. So I told that story. You know, I didn't show them. I blurred them out and everything. I didn't say where I was or nothing like that. But I titled the video "Fishing Trip Turns X-Rated." So now, if you search X-rated fishing trip, fishing trip X-rated. X-rated fishing trips, pretty much anything fishing and X-rated. I'm now on Google or YouTube. Currently, at the moment, I'm the top result. Even like the swimsuit gals, like if you search it, you know, Darcy's will end up about halfway down or whatever. Jackie Shea will end up on there because, you know, they take all those thumbnails and their bathing suits. So I was like, man, they must have been sorely disappointed when when I hit up there.
You know, and I think I know exactly what lure you're talking about.
You know what, Chris? I might rename that. Will it sink? That might hit better. I'll do that keyword search later. Power fishing is better than finesse.
I might have to disagree on that one.
Not up here, it ain't.
Not here either.
We went fishing actually Sunday, me and Chris, and he beat me for the first time.
Yeah.
2-0. He says power fishing, but I caught him on a jig. Is jig power fishing?
Well, if you're swimming it, possibly. Oh, you say it's a better video.
Ah.
I could see that.
Maybe. I'm actually pretty good at SEO now. Thumbnails I'm still having to mess around on.
See, I'm the complete opposite. I'm still figuring out the SEO.
Give you help in that. Turn that background music down just a hair. But so yeah, I don't know. Pitching the jig and pads wasn't soaking it. Yeah, the first one he caught pitching. I guess the second one you were kind of swimming it. It got hit before it hit the bottom, so you got hit on the down.
That's usually how that's usually when they'll hit it. When you throw it in, he's on the down versus just sitting there.
Tough fishing though.
Yep. I tell you what, Real Appalachian's got something going on right now where he's trying to catch a fish, a bass, for 30 days. I've been following that. He's doing pretty good with it.
Well, that one I cast into a fallen tree. Yeah. Now you got your cast down. He's got that one rod tuned right for him. I think he said that's a rod they don't make anymore. So, of course, my cast on it, I caught the rod behind me on my back cast, snapped my leader, so I had to retie when he caught that. That's my excuse. I'm sticking with it. I hear Ohio is tough. Every place is tough right now, man.
Yep.
It's been hotter than Satan's taint in the whole country. Ton of dinks, but we managed to catch one every day so far. Thankfully, Ohio has been tough this year. The heat and humidity have been unreal. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Mm-hmm. My video I made last week, if you haven't seen that, you go check it out after the stream. The Walmart packet Eagle Claw rod, I did 98-degree heat. I about died. Didn't manage to catch a fish, but yeah, it is nice out today compared to how it's been last week. It's raining here though.
Yep.
I'll take this rain over that 100-degree heat.
Yeah, it'll make it for me muggy as heck can be when it's done.
All right, when we get into this game, if there's anybody in the comments that wants us to bring up something and get our cash or trash to play on it, just leave it in the comments, and I'll see if I can find it and bring it up. Well, Jeff, it's been a few weeks since we had you on, so what have you been up to? What you got coming?
Well, right now I've got several lure painting videos coming up. I've got some how-to stuff. That's one of the ones I'm working on right now. Just got to put some eyes on it, if you can do it like that. A little Wonder Bread type deal on it for walleye. I've got a few tournaments I'm fishing in. Then just trying to fish as much as time will allow it. When it's not scorching hot and when I'm able to get away. That's pretty much all I've been doing when I plan on coming. I've still got a lot of stuff to edit, just haven't had time to do it in the last year or so.
When it's not scorching hot, it's a thing now.
Yep. Jackhammers, live scope, bass boats, Hobies, Riddler.
All right. I appreciate it. I really do. We can jackhammers, live scope, bass boats, Hobies, Riddler. The drug for ADHD?
I think so. Jack Van Fleet is in the building.
How you doing, Nut?
Great to see you, Jack.
How's the baby?
The baby is doing good. She is wide open. She's one now. Crawling all over the place, starting to walk a little bit. Daddy daycare's in full swing. I'm surprised y'all can't hear her through the wall here. She's giving her mom a run for the money right now. I wouldn't change it for the world. So I do all my fishing related stuff pretty much on nap times or when mom's got her. Till she gets old enough for me to bring her with me.
All right, Jeff, you ready to start some cash or trash?
Let's do it.
All right. So I saw this on YouTube earlier this week from some of the people over at iCast that are down there. Some of the fishing channels. Let's get her up. This is the Trident paddle paddle kayak.
No. I will have to trash this one. If I want to paddle, I'll just use my hands. But if I'm going to use my feet to move around, I'd much rather have a pedal drive kayak. I mean, to me, it looks like pretty much like a little John boat that's been cut out with a high-rise seat on it. So nope.
It's trash. It's trash in this current form. I mean, I will say this: had they just put a roto paddle like Native or Wilderness Systems or Full Time, and I don't know.
I mean, to me, it kind of looks.
I guess you can put an outboard on the back, but why make a kayak to put an outboard on the back? Because those little boats have existed forever too. I mean, Pelicans has the Bass Raider. So, yep.
Man, it just looks rushed. It looks rushed.
I just don't think I could ever get used to paddling with my feet. This seems awkward.
Yep. I fully agree with you on that one. So I think we're both in the consensus of trashing that.
The rear pontoons are backwards. That's what you noticed? Not that the whole thing looks like a... Oh, John K. Yeah, it's weird. I couldn't get used to it. And then the guy that did it, like, I respect anybody that brings an ideal to fruition. They have a concept and they try to go out and make something. However, he's like, oh, it's not like kayaks. You can stand up on it. I can stand up on my kayak. You can stand up on a Jackson. You can stand up on a Hobie. You can stand up on a Bonafide. You can stand up
on a Vibe. Yep, all of them. I just no. Now I could see that being a kind of a wheelchair accessible kayak, so to speak, in a sense. If you want to look at it that way, I could see that. Because they could go around, turn it on backward, or even on the side. If their wheelchair boat still had some mobility, you could take and adjust it a little bit. But for a regular angler like that, no.
Maybe.
Yep, in theory.
What are they going to do then, though? You paddle with your feet.
That's what I'm saying. If they had to turn it into a rowboat or something.
I'm like, wait a minute. All right. All right, next thing that's brought up is
what we got?
Well, I got me having to stop and share and stop and share.
Let's see, we got jackhammers.
All right.
Black scopes, bass boats.
The Z-Man jackhammer chatterbait. Cash or trash?
Well, I'm a big fan of chatterbaits in general. That's actually one of the ones that chatterbaits usually I like to throw when I'm not finesse fishing. So honestly, I'd say I'd cash it.
Impartial. Because I'm not that big a thrower of chatterbaits. I hear great things. I get a lot more results out of the spinnerbait, which the chatterbait is kind of made old fashioned. But spinnerbait works better for me. It's easier use, and there is one thing about a spinnerbait that I really, really appreciate over the Z-Man jackhammer, especially. I have never bought a $15 spinnerbait in my life.
Well, I agree with that. I personally never paid $15 for one either, or a chatterbait. With that being said, the jackhammers that I have in my possession have either A, been given to me, or B, came in the Monster Bass box. Those are the only times I've had. I've never paid $15 for them.
Yeah, I've gotten them in the Z-Man takeover box. So I guess I paid, was it 20? What's the subscription cost now?
I think the basics 20, 25 maybe 26 was a basic one.
Googan Squad unveiled their new reels. Are they going to compete with other reels in the $190 range, like the Shimano 6DC or the Abu Garcia Zata? Yes, they are.
That's the main goal. I mean, look at if you look at Googan Squad, and I'm saying this on a bias kind of. I'm not a fan of Googan baits. I've thrown them before. I'm just not a fan of them. But if you look at Googan Squad, they started out real small. Now look, if they're all over Walmart, they're all over Bass Pro Shop, they're all over all the big retailers too. So it only makes sense they came out with the rods and the next level of their reels and stuff like that to compete with that. So that's why I'd say, yeah, they would compete with them all hand in hand.
They are indeed. And
Yep.
that's why I say they are going to compete. And actually, I will make a bold prediction. Not only will they compete, they will excel.
Yep.
I'd say they actually sell more than Shimano in the next year because they have the media marketing behind them.
Yep.
They also have Ketchco behind them. And I don't have a problem with their baits. I like the Bandito bug. Catches
Yep.
fish. I like the Bandito bug. And the Slim Shake worm, I've got results on it. I don't have too great results on the Kraken crawl. And the Lunker Log is just a stick bait.
Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, they will catch fish. However, but they don't last.
They don't.
They don't last.
But you know what? Z-Man will last forever. Z-Man will last tack. You can throw the same bait all day long. I can't stand them. I think they're trash.
Well, I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you a few goodies when I send you a new round of baits to you.
Because I can't ever rig a Z-Man straight.
What we got next? I was in about that cost 741. Okay.
I like Abu. It's what I use.
Yep.
I like Abu just fine. You know what I like about Abu? And, well, actually, here's another thing, too. Right now, Googan rods and Googan reels are in that niche, higher tier market.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, due to marketing alone, they will probably outperform the higher tier like St. Croix, Shimano, in the next year. I don't know if that'll be consistent. But then what'll happen is when they can get their price point down, they'll start compete. If they can get their price point down for their manufacturing side, they'll start competing with Luz, Abu Garcia. You'll start seeing them in just like the baits. You'll start seeing them in Dick's, Academy, Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops. Dick's, actually, I laughed the other day. I was in Dick's buying, not Googling, I was actually buying some Berkeley stuff, but I was in Dick's picking up some new Berkeley a couple of weeks ago. 2 aisles of Googling products. Dick's used to be notorious for kicking YouTubers out of their store for filming.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Oh, what next? What are we next? What are we gonna do? Let's see here. Let's do. Huh.
Well, we can go with some slabber knocker.
That's a chatterbait, right?
Yeah. I don't know if Next Gen's still around. I hadn't seen much out of them.
We were just talking about them last week. Okay. If that's what you want to play on the game next gen, we can do it. And I'll do it if nobody else has got the guts. They were the most realistic looking fluke bait I'd ever seen. The best paint job on a fluke I'd ever seen. They swam like trash. I never caught anything with them.
Thought I
So,
had some up here.
for me, they were trash. Maybe they were for other people, but for me, they were trash.
I
You
agree
could
with
not,
that too.
you could not get one to swim right to save your life.
And I think it was is to the sense too that on those they were almost like they were painted or glued on some of them, and that screwed it up. Yeah, I'll trash that one too. Trash
Yep.
that. Yep.
I got a little dry mouth. The ice is helping. Sorry.
Are you good?
Google and rod drills are trash in my opinion. I like their baits. Mondo 10 is my go-to. Um, I don't know. I don't think I've really thrown a Mondo. A lot of finesse fishing up here, which I guess a big worm is finesse fishing, but up here you got to downsize in the summertime. Of course, then again, keep in mind, our state record is 12 pounds. The biggest fish ever caught in this state, ever, was 12 pounds. So using a 12, 15-inch worm, that's good in states that have, 8 pounds on the regular.
Yep.
We don't.
Florida, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, those times. Nope. Even Alabama.
Love Abu reels. I like Abu too. I like Abu's price point. I think Abu has a great introductory price point for beginners. I did have, if I'm being honest, I did their reels, their lower base models have plastic gears in them. I had a Black Max that the gears crapped out on me last year. I had to upgrade a little bit, but I mean, but it's one of those things you get what you pay for. All right, let's see if I can find
That's
new
real
releases
there.
from iCast this year for our next cash or trash. You want to do apparel, terminal, spinners, top water, worms, crawls, and creatures. I don't get how this is all new, man. There's nothing new under the sun. I guarantee you, somebody made these years ago. Like this spinner bait I'm looking at here that I cast. You know what? I'll do it. Spinnerbaits, Tackle Warehouse. Okay, these are the new spinnerbaits here introduced at ICAST this year. And because it is a spinnerbait, I'm going to go ahead and cash it. Not because it is a new spinnerbait,
Just because it's a spinnerbait in general.
just because it's a spinnerbait in general. Because especially with spinnerbaits, it's a safety pin style spinnerbait. What's new about it? The color of the skirt? Marcus Swarm, good evening, everyone. Marcus, hey, welcome. Come on in and
Marcus.
play a little cash or trash with us. Sponsored by any of these people, folks. You know, we won't let them know. No, I'm on a call.
Spinnerbaits, I'll cash those because I do throw my share of spinnerbaits too.
I
So
catch them just because they are a spinnerbait, but
I'm not into the big half ounce or 3/4. I like the more smaller size on those.
yeah, well, I think that is part of it too. That these are like I saw Rudd at ICAST talk about some spinnerbaits, and these are part of like a smaller line. But I mean, I'm a little younger, but guys like Jack might remember back in the late '70s, Rick Clunn invented the SOB. The is a like a smaller size spinner, almost like a crappie spinnerbait. So you had the Rick Clunn SOB.
Well, it's just
Right.
just for spinnerbaits, just in general. The smaller line, I definitely catch that. Just like I'll throw that more. Same with the chatterbait. The jackhammer is good, but I'm more in tune to throw. Well, I got one right here. Just Z-Man mini chatterbait or micro chatterbait. I have more fun with these and catch more fish than I do on a regular size chatterbait. And big quality fish I'm doing it too. And spinners are good for locating fish too. I agree with Marcus on that one too.
Yeah. Yeah, they're a good search bait. Especially in stained water.
Yep.
And their design makes them mostly weedless.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got today?
Well,
let's see what Chris would put in. Next gen base still around. I don't know if they are or not. Oh, yo. Redland, never tried it. Couldn't tell you. Hobies. Okay.
Hobies. I've never tried out a Hobie. So honestly, I couldn't trash it.
I have tried out a Hobie, and I can't trash it either. I will say, for a kayak, well, you know what? They were like the first. So I don't even know if I can go there either, but
On the price point, how are they going on the price point this time?
well, Hobie Pro Angler 14, their top of the line is about $5,000. Yeah. But They got one of the fastest pedal drives on the market, maybe
Okay.
the fastest. They got the largest weight capacity on the market. They got one of the um, largest tip points on the market. They're hard to tip, they're hard to flip. Now they weigh a ton. Hobie weighs about 150 pounds.
Again, I couldn't, for the price point, if it was brand new, if I had the
If
money
you're
to
real,
blow,
I will say this: if they look solid, think Ike likes them high dollar. Yeah, I mean it's what Ike uses now. I will say this: if you're really, really into kayak fishing, if you're a professional, which that's a thing now, if you're a professional kayak fisherman, that's how
yep,
you make your living. Think about it this way: like this is what Rudd kayak fish. He uses a Hobie now. Got to hop off, catch the rest of the stream once it goes live as a full video. Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you coming in.
appreciate it.
So he uses the Hobie Pro Angler 14. So if you're really big into it, he made a point the other night. If you think about it, his bass boat is a nitro, which is on a lower end. Like skeeters right now are selling for 100,000.
Yeah.
Nitro right now is selling for about $67,000. So if you want to get into competitive angling, you can pay $250 to enter some of these Hobie contests and win 10 grand from a kayak. And the top of the line kayak is $5,000. That's 5/67 the price of a nitro bass boat. I'll say cash.
So, you'd win your money back if you got on some good fish on a tournament.
Because even a blue collar guy like me, it is possible to work and save up for
Oh, yeah.
a top of the line kayak.
Yeah.
Top of the line bass boat.
Maybe if you hit the lottery or.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you on that standpoint.
Trash or gas. Don't remind me about gas prices right now. So,
Hey, it's $3.79 here though.
442. Underspin jig heads. It's like a swing jig, weighted belly hook.
Or like a beetle spin or.
But yeah, I'll catch those. I use them. I throw them.
Yep.
I like underspin's underrated in my opinion.
I agree with that.
You can throw an underspin and a Kitech paddle tail, team it up. I have some success on that. Throw into the shad swim.
I'd tame it up with a winnow or even a schooler shad if it's a smaller underspin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Marcus, I'm shocked. You've tried everything under the water, and you hadn't tried that yet.
Derek's still making baits. I didn't know if he had raw materials now. All right. Live scope. Live scope.
Have you got a depth finder? on your kayak?
I do not.
Me neither. So for that simple fact is, I don't know depth finders. Um, do I want one? Yeah. So honestly, I'd say I'd cash it if it's a reasonable price. Of course, you can save up for it, just like with Kobe.
Yeah, but it's an accessory, not a vehicle.
Right.
So it would be like, actually, I can make an example. Because I have a Mirage drive system in my kayak, I'm looking at the Bixby Jet because they have a Mirage drive adapter
Yeah.
where you can just throw that Bixby Jet. It comes with everything: the remote, the motor, the mount, and the battery pack. But it's like $1,300 for the battery and the motor,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's another 400 or 500 for the mount. So you're looking at about the price of the kayak for that Bixby Jet motor. And now I've got, and living in Pennsylvania, once I put a motor in a kayak, now it's a motorized vehicle. I got to register it, pay taxes on it.
Same thing here too.
Okay, so you understand. But I don't have a lot of people who have the same interests as me up here. I've only got a couple of guys I go fishing with.
Mm-hmm.
One of them's older, and kayak fishing, he ain't got no interest in it. He doesn't want to do a float trip
Yeah.
or anything like that. So, not having people to do these trips with, like, I'd really like to explore some of the river fishing here, but I can't paddle upstream.
Yeah.
And these rivers can get dangerous. As a matter of fact, the day me and Chris went swimming, he texted me, and a kid drowned in the river we crossed that day. The Delaware can get hairy in a minute.
Yeah.
I'm actually going fishing on it in a couple of weeks with crap. His name just, and COVID does nothing but screw you mentally. Adam Mahora. He was on here a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, we're only like an hour from each other.
Well, son.
But the Lehigh is a lot calmer, and I live by the Lehigh, so I'd like that jet motor so I can go explore the dam and just,
Yeah.
I'll float down and just jet motor back to the top. But I can't justify price of it because it's an accessory. It's not
Yeah.
my kayak; it's an accessory. It won't get me on the water,
Yeah.
and I basically really have one need for it. So I kind of look at live scope like that. It's an accessory.
Could you catch fish without it? Yeah. Could it help
Yeah,
assist
but
you in
I will
catching?
tell you this: you cannot tell me it does not give you an advantage.
Exactly.
All those guys that say, "Oh, you still got to catch the fish," it doesn't really give you an advantage. You're full of it, and I can tell you why. We just talked about the Goo Gun products. Well, those products are going to outsell other things because of their media attention, right? I mean, let's face facts. Let's be honest. Whether you like them or lump them, I respect them for what they did for this format. So, in the YouTube fishing world, the Goo Gun Squad rules the roost. Still, so I watched those kids' videos before they were ever the Goo Gun Squad when they were just kids making videos
Yeah.
of fishing because I like fishing. So that's what came up on my For You page. I know for a fact before LiveScope, John B. I mean, I know he's young, but John B. is a young angler, a young bass angler, who's had the opportunity for several years to fish some of the best places in the world bass fishing. And
Mm-hmm.
he's never caught a double digit until this year. He put live scope on his boat. Now he's got 7 of them. His whole life never caught double digits. 1 year with live scope, 7 of them. He's got a 14 point something now. You cannot tell me there's not an advantage.
Yep, I agree with you on that. 100%.
You can't go your whole life never catching a 10-pounder and catch 7 in 1 year.
I fully agree with you on that.
Because now you can see it.
Yep. You know exactly where to drop it, where your structure is, and all that.
But with that alone, yeah, it's cash. Because there are a lot of guys winning a lot of tournaments with him right now.
Yep.
If you can afford it.
Oh,
the price point, trash. That's yep. I call it video game fishing.
What else we got? You want to go top water?
Sure. What you got?
Well, let me see if I can find it. Let's look at the Hellraiser. It's by Z-Man. Gotcha, Jack. Oh, you're muted.
I don't see the one by Z-Man.
It's the Z-Man Hellraiser. Hellraizer.
Ah, Z-E-R. Gotcha now. They put that Z in there to keep from ticking off heading.
Mm-hmm.
All righty. Let's see what we got now. We got the Z-Man Hellraiser. Here we go. Let's go ahead and share the screen. The Hellraiser by Z-Man. You say this is top water?
Top water. It kind of looks like a spook and a reverse chatterbait, kind of.
Yeah, it's odd.
It says bring the chatterbait to the surface. It's exactly what it's supposed to be. So it doesn't look like a chatterbait. Doesn't look like quite like anything else out there.
Huh. Looks like a chatterbait blade being used like a backward buzz bait.
I guess.
Uh,
I'm gonna say cash on it because I just like topwater fishing.
I like top water too, but I don't know. I'm going to say trash, and I'll tell you why. This back hook design. It looks like you're going to miss a crap ton of hook sets
Because of the blade.
with that blade right there on that back treble. As you see, I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at it up close, but I'm going to say trash because in this picture, the blade's longer than the width of the treble. So if that treble's following behind it, you ain't going to get any points in the mouth unless he hits it from the front.
And it looks, from the looks at it, looks like you're going to tie it on right there from that front treble. There's your eyelet for that.
And also, that blade, that one-sided blade like that, it looks like on the cast it's going to helicopter.
Yeah.
Looks frustrating to me. I would have to throw it to give you a definite opinion.
True. I could see this. Honestly, you know where I see this coming out? I see this going into the takeover box. Either the Z-Man or the iCast takeover box.
Well, if I get it in a takeover box, I'll do a video and let them know if it's trash or not. But my first impression of it, I'm leaning more toward trash than cash.
Because of the blade on it.
Yeah. The design just doesn't look like it's going to work, man.
Again, I'll say cash because I like top water. But I'm with you on that as far as you just have to try it out and see. Now, would I pay for it? Probably not.
Everyone's trying to complete with that Whopper Plopper. Yep. Yeah, pretty much. Yep. I did the Whopper Plopper last week with Rudd. Week before last, I had Ohio Bass on last week. And for me up here, I mean, if you think about it, a Whopper Plopper is like a buzz bait on a topwater spook.
What?
So, I mean, it works. I see a lot of people catch fish on them. It's one of those baits that I can't say is cash. For me personally, the Whopper Plopper, it's not a bait that agrees with me and my style of fishing, I guess.
Yeah. I could throw. That's one thing I could throw all day is a plopper of all sizes.
My first bass was on topwater though.
That's good.
Floating original Rapala. Actually, Rapala.
Rapala.
Yeah, we've been saying it wrong for 50 years. Everybody I know calls it Rapala.
Yeah, that's what I've always called it.
It's a Swedish maker. Rapala.
What new frogs are out?
New frogs. I don't know. Can you reinvent the wheel? I will say that's my top water go-to now because there are things that only a hollow body frog works for.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There are some places up here, any exposed hooks, you're in for a bad day.
Let's see.
Just turn the back of the boat, catching fish on a jackhammer while the boater was hitting. Yeah, okay. as when we were on the jackhammer. Um, yeah, I mean, I won't trash a chatterbait, but I will trash $15 for a lure.
When it comes like that, yeah. But if it's a custom sense, then no.
I tell you, you know, it's all depending on what you want. China is modifying the frogs to a new model. Huh.
China's changing everything.
Well, not right now. They're not back to work.
I'm sorry, they're still on lockdowns.
They're only about 50% return. That's the reason everything's the raw materials. I've got some chatterbaits in my box, and I think they are Z-Man, the Z-Man original chatterbaits. But I don't know if I got a jackhammer. I've thrown them, and I've thrown them, and I've thrown them. I threw them Sunday with Chris Jack, and
Try this next time you go out. You go to Walmart or whatever. Pick you up a mini or micro chatterbait, and you will catch anything from bass and bluegill to 4, 5, 6 pound bass if they're in there. They will hit it.
yeah, but I can do the same thing with a mini micro spinner.
Yeah, you should. To
Yeah, but
each his own.
I could fill this room with spinners I've caught with fish I've caught on an inline spinner. Yeah. I have Derek's chat. I've got some buzz baits from BHO. I don't think I've got any chatterbait. Buzz bait. It probably works. It's just not one of those baits I think to go to. It's too easy for the bite to get tough here. Water conditions to change, temperatures to change, water to change, and then you reach in the bag for those confidence builders.
Yeah. So what is
That's
your
right. What's my go-to when the bite's tough?
well, yeah, what is your confidence bait right now?
Same. Look, man, there are two types of bass fishermen. Two types. Those who fish Cinco stick baits, Cinco style stick bait, and those who lie about it. Stick bait.
You like a stick bait?
Hey, when the bite's tough, I can whack you. I could fill this room on bass I've caught on a wacky rig stick bait.
I can also say I could count the number of times on both my hands and feet how many times I've actually caught on a wacky rig stick bait, on a stick bait in general. I just don't throw them.
Um, for multi-species, when the bite's really tough, or if I just want to catch fish and not have to worry about how tough the bite is, 3-inch Gulp Alive Mini from Berkeley.
Power popper from 13 Fishing.
Well, all right, Topwater Bob. Let's see what you're talking about. We got the Power Slide Pencil Popper. Power Slide Pencil Popper from 13 Fishing. Let's bring it up and put her to the test. As soon as I remember where my. There it is. Power. What now?
Power slide pencil popper. I'd have to say well, that's nice.
Got a spook color. Let's see if we can find on their. Let's go to Tackle Warehouse here. Mm-hmm. Top water. I'd throw that. Oh, I didn't see my screen had stopped sharing there. Yeah, I'd throw that.
Yep, I sure do, Jack.
I haven't thrown it, so I can't, guarantee the cash or the trash. But right now, I would side on cash. It looks like I don't know what it looks like. Looks like a walking bait with a popper.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like a popping walking bait.
I tell you what, Jack just reminded me that I've got some in the blanks that he sent me, so I'm gonna have to paint one now.
Some of the pencil poppers.
I'll have to look in there.
Top water pop. Huh, yeah.
Yep.
But it's skinnier than like your old fashioned top water popper. It looks like a.
Like a spook, real small, but with the popper on the front of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll check them out and look. Yeah, I'd
like an old walking bait.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd give that one a whirl. I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't take long to go to the soft plastics. Mine started to need to put fish in the boat. I always start out throwing top water, hoping and praying,
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, because when I went out the other night,
floats head up. So when you reel it, the tail swims.
When you pop it, these won't have the action of the popper, but when you throw and toss and pop it like a spook, it'll just float flat. The popper actually has a little bit of weight in on it, float with the head being up, sticking up. You get what I'm saying?
So the head part stays above the surface and the tail the surface when you walk it?
The mouth is cupped. Just like a popper.
Ah, got it. Huh. Actually, might order some of those. So thanks, Bob. Yeah, I'll say cash.
Yep.
Your favorite item? Yeah. Okay, I can see it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Kelly. When I find the one in the blanks, I'll paint you up one.
Cool. Put my colors on it.
Yep.
Heavy on tail. Perfect. That's different. I like it. We'll go one more kayak before we head out.
One more.
This is introduced this year.
Is this the origami?
No, but we can bring it up if you want to.
Oh, I was just asking.
Oh man, I saw actually on one of those origami style kayaks.
Hello, OK Fishing.
Hey Kai, how you doing tonight, bud? Good to see you. I saw one of those origami style kayaks over at Nakamixon Lake. I was fishing.
Yeah.
And there was a lady in that kayak, had more faith in that kayak than I got in life.
Really?
I don't know what the weight capacity on them is. And I don't want to shame anybody. She was 2 of me. I'm not a small guy.
Yeah. And see,
I
the
mean,
only
I
ones
applaud you. I applaud you for getting out there and being active. I'm 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 not the guy that would ever shame the fat guy at the gym. He's tried. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't shame the lady in the kayak either. I just, boy, you put a lot of faith in that kayak.
yeah.
you know, like I got a heavy weight capacity, and sometimes I think I'm putting faith in my kayak.
Yeah. I'm there with you. I mean, the only origami ones I'd ever seen, I had never seen one on a kayak. I've seen one with the paddleboard ones. There's one them yellow ones that are paddleboards that come up, that fold up. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only ones I've ever seen like that.
All right, a little cash or trash. The 2022 Jackson Coosa pedal drive.
I've never heard of that.
Jackson's Coosa has a pedal drive now. Introduced at ICAST this year. See if I can.
Is that the one for $2,000, or is it the one that's there for?
Let me see if I can bring up a bigger picture here. Yeah, $2,000, 1949.
Hmm. So the handling fee. So include the shipping fee. That's better than the Hobie. Oh,
And
what's the?
it's got it doesn't have the Mirage drive style. It's got the rototiller style, like old time.
Oh, okay. Hmm. On a price point, I'd say I'd cash it.
Yeah, I'd say it's a pretty good price point, especially right now.
Yeah.
Like my Lightning was, I bought it 2 years ago. Of course, now I've got terrible timing, so I bought it during the height of the
Pandemic.
pandemic. But Lightning was the only manufacturer at the time that had raw materials. They were the only ones that didn't have a shortage. So I bought it, and now that was with shipping, but I think with shipping it was like 18 at the time,
That's not bad.
17 maybe. So
How
now
long
when
do you have to
Lightning
wait for
came out, I remember when Lightning came out, their price point was around that of the Pelican. So they were price pointing at the time to compete with Pelicans
Yeah.
because Pelican also came out with a copycat. I mean, it is what it is. It's copycat. So the great thing about when patents run out and competitors start making things, it always benefits the consumer
Mm-hmm.
because now even the original will lower their price point. But of course, then the pandemic changed all that. But I remember being about so right now. But not only that, but they say that this Jackson Coosa is the what they were saying at ICAST is it is the hardest kayak on the market to tip right now
Really?
because it's so wide. I think it's what are the dimensions on it here? 12 and a half feet length, 34 inches wide, 425-pound weight capacity, total weight 83 pounds.
That's not bad at all.
I cash it.
Yep. Definitely.
Hey Stanley, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Hey, don't be so late next week. Stanley's on next week. Length and width, yeah, it's my Lightning's 12 foot, but I think it's 32. I don't think it's 34. 34, that's not bad at all. I'll cash it. Under $2,000 for a pedal drive.
Yep. I could see myself doing that one too.
And a lot of those pedal drives, because you can because the way the mount's set up, that roto tiller for those pedal drives, a lot of those pedal drives like that, the mount in the front, a lot of them will fit just a regular uh, trolling motor. You can just buy a mount and put down in there. You get what you pay for. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just Stanley Orchard.
83 pounds is perfect, especially for us old guys. Yeah, my Lightning's more than 83 pounds. Without the drive, it's 92.
Oh, my Sea Ghost is not, but 50 some, I think. 50 or 60 some. So yeah, definitely.
Length, width, and weight. I think Jackson knocked that one out of the park.
Yep.
Now I did hear some criticisms about, like, if you're a taller guy or a bigger guy, like they might want to lengthen the pedals for the pedal drive. Like you have to like sit back a little too far, or maybe elevate the bottom seat at an angle to where it's more comfortable on your knees. But yeah, Stan, that's what we were saying. Not only that, but in the kayak fishing world, the wider especially if you're a bigger guy like me, the wider the boat, the more stability you got.
Yep.
And to get a boat,
you could stand in that too, easily.
Yeah. And to get a boat that wide, and that stable, under 90 pounds to carry, that's impressive. Because you could take the drive and the seat out of that and car top that easier than you could car top mine.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, I think Jackson knocked that one out of the park this year.
I think I'm going to have to add that to my wish list now.
And Jackson's always been a good kayak for the better guys. Like, I mean, Jackson makes the Mayfly. That's steady enough. It's made to fly fish off of.
Huh.
So the ability to stand in it makes all the difference in the world. That is a big sell for me. Yeah. Now, I don't know about standing in salt water on a kayak.
I wouldn't do that. Nope.
Seems like waves would be a thing, man.
Waves. Chance of falling in like that. Shark? Nope. Sorry. Stanley Orchard have to show us the ways.
Okay. I can. Once I can get my sea legs under me, I can stand in mine. But at 32 inches, if I make a hard enough cast or whatever, so I don't as often as I probably should. And not only that, but because of the Mirage drive in front of me, I don't have a stand-up assist strap. So I gotta, and it can be a little bit awkward sometimes.
That'd be something to do right there. Have a universal stand-up assist thing that you could attach to any one of them. Where if you got the Mirage in the front, you set it for the back, you can help yourself push yourself up that way.
I wish I'd be the first one falling on a yak. I haven't tipped mine yet, not even on purpose. Maybe I should do that.
I did once.
See where the tip point's at? I should.
And I did it at a pond. And I figured might as well do the test with it fully loaded. But luckily, I had everything tied down and secured to it. Yes, I did tip mine.
Only got to do it fully loaded. Guarantee I wouldn't get something back. Got to run, bye guys. Jack, okay. If I missed you, I'm sorry, Jack, but appreciate you coming in tonight.
Stanley, I think that's a mission for you on next Shark Fest.
Yep. Well, go about 9:15, Jeff. We'll wrap it up.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. Anything anybody want to discuss, talk about, cash or trash before we leave? Not. Next week, we'll have our friend in the crowd here, Stanley Orchard. And I believe next week we'll be talking some YouTube. Stanley is our resident YouTube expert. Now, with his knowledge over at TubeBuddy, maybe there's some things that TubeBuddy has he'd be willing to share on our live stream for our viewers next week. Always a good time with Stanley. Me and Stanley go back a ways. So, watching this, be sure and turn in. Tipping it is easy. It's getting back in the damn thing I hate.
True.
You know, that's
Very
anything.
True.
Yeah. I actually probably should practice that this year just to see if I can.
Take it to a pool. Find somebody's got a pool and let you put it in there.
I don't got any friends that got a pool let me put their 12-foot kayak and tip it in. But yeah, that'd be ideal. So next week, if you're still with us tonight, be sure and join us as Stanley Orchard comes in next week. We'll talk a little YouTube, a little bit about that. And then 2 weeks' time, we'll have our biggest guest ever on the show, actually. Even bigger than Alex Rudd, who was on 2 weeks ago. He's actually twice the size of Alex Rudd.
Yep.
We have John Dalton, better known as Creek Fishing Adventures, joining us. So I did manage to land him as a guest. He'll be on in 2 weeks' time here on Blue Collar Fishing Live. Sure, I'll see all y'all in the crowd. Jeff, you coming in to watch that night?
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there for Stanley. I might just come a little bit late though. It's an hour show, so I might come in at 10 minutes till.
You know, that affects me a lot more than it does him.
Yeah, I'll be there. No worries there.
Night, Stanley.
See you, buddy.
See you next week. 8 o'clock Eastern. 8 o'clock Eastern. That's 7 o'clock your time.
Remember, Stanley. Later, guys.
Have a good night. All right. We're going to wrap it up. About a couple more minutes. We'll let this stream go. I really appreciate everybody that tuned in tonight. Appreciate you coming in and playing the game with us tonight, Jeff. Always a pleasure to have you.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you being a guest. Appreciate you in the crowd. Topwater Bob, appreciate you coming in tonight. You're new, so love to see new people come in. Jack Van Fleet, great guy. Appreciate him coming in tonight. Stanley Orchard, our guest next week. Appreciate him coming in tonight. And Chris Summerall, buddy of mine that I went fishing with last week. That video will launch Tuesday, and then that will be the last video I launch on Tuesdays. Our regular launches will be moving to Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. after this Tuesday 3 p.m. launch. So we're going to try to move our regular video launches to Sunday mornings to give more people a chance to see them. And that's all for tonight, folks. Tune in as we play more Cash or Trash. Tune in next week to talk YouTube with Stanley Orchard. And then tune in the week after for Creek Fishing Adventures. And we'll see you next time. Have a good night.
Later, guys.